Hello everyone, today back again, another how to play. Today we'll again how to play this game called Sluff Off. If you ever want to curse at somebody without actually cursing out at them, just tell them to slough off. And this one is by Eagle Griffin Games. Came out a few years ago, it's still around, you can still find it. And it is a little trick-taking game, fairly standard trick-taking game. You get 75 number cards here, valued with numbers 1 to 15 in each suit, and you get red, blue, green, orange, and purple. Same colors depicted here on these chips, although personally I think that's more yellow than orange, but it is what it is. And there's also these penalty tokens, 27. There's also a little first player token, which is rubbery. It's very interesting. And yeah, actually this is not a first player token, this is the sluffer piece, which I'll get to. Anyways, the way it's going to work is each player is going to get a hand of 15 cards. This is, how many players does it say? By the way, this is number 9 in the set, if you're interested. It is 2 to 4 players, ages 30 and up. Ages 30 and up, ages 10 and up. 30 or more minutes is what it is. So each player is going to get 15 cards. I'll just deal out some cards. These are decent quality cards. Unfortunately, they do not spread apart very well. That's a common issue I have with cards from this company, Eagle Griffin Games. Anyways, we'll say that's 15 cards each. Not too fussed about it. So, each player is going to look at their hand, and what you're going to do is predict how many tricks you think you're going to win, and what color of tricks you think you're going to win. So let's kind of look at my hand here. I'll try to get 15 cards. So, right now I'm seeing, I have a lot of red. You're going to keep this obviously in your hand, secret to yourself. I'm just displaying it so we can all see. What you're going to do is you're going to be selecting these tokens based on how many tricks you think you're going to win each one. Now, I should mention the blue is the trump suit. That is why there's 5 of these for the blue. There's only 3 for the other colors. You also get black ones, which I'll talk about, and the white ones, which are wild ones. Now, I also screwed up a little bit. If you're doing 3 players, you're only going to use cards numbered 1 through 9. 4 players, you're only going to use cards 1 through 12, so you're not going to see the 13 and the 14 in my hand, if that was the case. And if you do 5 players, you can use all 75 cards. So, I'm going to say, I'm going to win 2 blue, 2 of the purple, 2 blue, and 2 yellow, and all the reds. And then every other player is going to do the same thing. Maybe this guy says he's going to win a couple blues, green, a yellow. This guy says he's going to win 2 greens and a purple. This guy says he's going to win blue. He also says he's going to win some reds. So he's going to take from me, and he's going to give me, since there's none left, he's going to take from me, and he's going to give me one of these white ones, which are worth -4. These are -2s, and these ones are -3s. And you go around the table, and maybe this guy is going to take one of my yellows. He already has yellow. Say he takes the purple. You might end up with a couple of these. So then you're going to play the trick-taking game. And I'll start by playing a purple 12. You have to follow the suit. You must follow. So if you have purple, you have to play it. This guy will play 6. And this guy will play 2. And then this guy will play an 8, we'll say. And so I win the trick. And so what happens now is I can take this purple and get rid of it. So every time you win a trick, if you get one of these, and you get rid of one of these, you get rid of a chip. Or you put it aside and at the end you go through that. But I believe this is how they say to do it. When you win a trick, you get rid of that chip. Now, if I were to win a trick with, let's say, purple again, by playing this card perhaps and winning that, I don't have a purple chip. So if I win a trick and I don't have a chip in that color, I have to take it a -3. If, in this case though, since I don't have purple and I win the trick, I can actually use one of these. If I win this trick with the purple, let's say this was played and this was played and whatever else was played, and I win the trick, then I can get rid of one of these. That's how you get rid of these wild ones, is by winning tricks of a color that you don't have and then getting rid of that. Like I said, the blue suit is trump, so if you can't play any cards, you can play any other card. So if we're playing red cards, for instance, or yellow. We're playing yellow cards and it comes to this person, they don't have yellow. They do, but we'll just pretend they don't. They can play anything else. In this case, they'd be getting rid of a red card, which maybe, and actually in this case, they probably want to get rid of a high red card since they don't have any red tokens. They don't want to win a red trick, so they get rid of that. And it's going to be the highest card of the suit lead that wins, so whoever plays the highest yellow would win. Perhaps it's this guy, and we'll say this guy played a 12. So in this case, this guy would win. He collect his cards, and he would get rid of a yellow chip. Since he doesn't have one, he's going to take a penalty. See how that works? And then you're going to keep going around the table. Again, if somebody plays a blue card, a trump, it's going to be the highest trump played that's going to win the trick, just like any other trick-taking game. And yeah, that's kind of more or less how it works. But there is one other rule I need to talk about. Let's say I don't want to do this. I don't want any of these chips at the start of the game. I look at my hand and I don't want to take any chips. What I can do, let's just say everyone else is taking chips. I'll give everyone some chips here. I decide I don't want any chips. I don't want any of those colored chips. I'm going to be the sluffer. And then people are going to tell me to slough off at the end of the game. The sluffer is, instead of taking a trick prediction, what you're going to do is take this sluffer piece. And what that means is I'm going to be the sluffer, and I'm going to basically try to screw everyone else over. I'm going to try to force people to take tricks. This guy doesn't have any green. I'm going to try to force him to take a green trick. This guy doesn't have any red. I'm going to try to force him to take a red. You know, try to penalize people. It's kind of an interesting aspect of this game that you can basically tell people to slough off. It's kind of interesting. Now, what happens is of my job as well is that I do not want to ever acquire any tokens. I don't want to win any tricks. But I could receive a possible 4 penalty points, a maximum of 4 penalty points at the end of the round, possibly less. Because what happens is, if I force people to take 4 or more of these, because I screw around with them, then I've succeeded. successfully. And I would get 0 penalty points, and everyone else is going to get penalty points. So that's one of the benefits of taking a sluffer, is if you're successful and you don't win any tricks, and you cause other people to take at least 4 black tokens, you've done your job, you get 0 points, which is good. No negative points for you. If they only took 3, then I would get 1 negative point. Perhaps if they took only 2, I would get 2 negative points. So basically, this is 4 negative points, but for each one of these that somebody takes, I get 1 less negative point. So in this case, there's 3 out there, I would get only 1 negative point. If there's 4, I would get 0. Perhaps if I get 5 out there, I would get 1 positive point. I believe that's how that would work. And yeah, that is that. And you're going to play multiple rounds. The first round ends as soon as all 15 tricks are played. If a person has no tokens, let's say this guy gets rid of all his tokens. This guy's got rid of some. This guy's got rid of some. Maybe he's got a black one. Let's say, we got something like this at the end. This guy would get 0 points. This guy would obviously get negative 8. And this guy would get negative 7. And you would write that down. And then you play another round. And you're going to play a couple of rounds at least. Let me see if it says. And basically, if you get 0 points, you have sloughed off. You're going to play as many rounds as there are players. So if there's 4 players, you do 4 rounds. If there's 3 players, you play 3 rounds. If it's 2 players, it's going to be a pretty short game, but you can play multiple games. Why not? And yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting game. I do really wish the quality of the cards is better. Like, it's good quality, linen finish and everything, nice stock. But they just, for some reason, these games from Eagle Griffin, the cards just all clump together. They stick. That doesn't really make it very usable. I guess you could try some fanning powder or baby powder, and it should help. But anyways, that is that. Slough Off. I like it. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. More. Thanks for watching.